doing first?
I got a whole bunch right here.
I know, but you do it Papa or me first?
Well, I'll ask you both.
Together, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the first question that I have was, what was life like as a teenager?
Me? It was hard work on a tobacco farm. Like I tell Gene sometimes, I didn't know they had made hot dogs and Pepsis and all that stuff. We drank water and we ate out of the garden. And it was a lot of hard work.
What was your average day like?
Average day,
Yeah, you wake up.
the rooster woke us up at 4:30. And there for a while we didn't have electricity. So we went to bed and it got dark. We had lamps, you know. But that was more or less before I was a teenager. After I was a teenager, we had electricity. We still toted water from the spring. We hoed tobacco. We forked hay. Mama canned everything possible that was eatable. I remember washing tubs full of cucumbers, washing jars. I remember us canning 7 bushels of beans, green beans that had to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
It was work from daylight till dark.
How about you, Grandpa? What was your teenage years like?
I have no idea.
No idea. Can't remember?
No.
So after you left after the 8th grade, what were you doing after that?
It wasn't too long I joined Uncle Sam's.
Well, when you was a teenager, you mowed yards.
Oh, I mowed yards for
For a quarter?
everybody that I could get a quarter out of.
All right.
Worked for Western Union.
When was that?
I think I was about 14 when I started there. I was supposed to be 16, but after they found out I was so fast, they didn't let me go. They let me keep working.
And then after that, you went into the military?
Yeah. Joined Uncle Sam for 3 years. Had 2 feet froze. I got 2 artificial knees. I got a calf out working my heart and a pacemaker.
Well, that didn't happen while you were in the military.
When you were
No.
a teen.
My feet was froze in the military.
Yeah, that happened in the military. You got frostbite?
Yeah.
Where were you stationed when that happened?
Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
How cold was it?
4 degrees below zero the day they got froze.
That's pretty cold.
I was on a drill field, and when we stopped, I stood there a few seconds. Next thing I know, this picking me up off the ground. Both feet was froze.
Mm. What did they do after they found you with your feet frozen?
They put me in the hospital.
How long were you in the hospital?
Around 6 months. I split me half in 2 to get blood down in my 2 feet.
But left the gauze in there, and they had to go back in there and get it out.
I kept bleeding. Couldn't figure it out. It wouldn't heal. So I come home for a 30-day convalescent leave and went back, and then they had to open it back up and pull the gauze out of it. Got through all that, I went to Germany for 18 months.
How was Germany?
I thought it was nice.
And that's when you were driving the deuce and a half, doing the...
Deuce and a half. I drove a deuce and a half, a Jeep. I drove an Army personnel carrier, full track. I drove a M48 tank. Army didn't have nothing I couldn't drive.
And so what were you doing in Germany?
Pulling time.
What was your day-to-day life like when you were stationed there?
Well, we marched, we drilled, we done PT. We was in parades, and And I was always the lead man outside. I put the tall ones out and work them down.
Mm-hmm. And so then you wrote him a Dear John. What was that about?
Well, when I met him, I was dating this other boy. And so there for a while I was dating both of them. And so while he was in Missouri, I wrote him a Dear John letter. So he comes home AWOL. And then he goes back and has to stay in the stockade for about 2 months.
So Grandpa, tell us about that. What was going through your mind when she wrote you that letter?
It made me mad. Why do you think I went AWOL?
No.
Because I knew what was coming after I went AWOL.
Yeah. Was it worth it?
Damn right. I got her back.
Good. So you were telling us earlier today, but how did the two of you meet?
I met her on a blind date. I just had got through loading. I used to load 18-wheelers, trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I just had got off working. Just had walked in the front door, headed for the sink, and here comes Kenneth Ring. I got you a blind date. I said, do I look like I need a blind date? Man, I was black as a nigger was. You know, and boxes been stacked in warehouses for months.
Mm-hmm.
And then you picking them up and that dust just flying all over you. And I said, well, I got to get part of this off. I'll hide part of it. So we went up there and I met her and I couldn't quit going back.
Going back to when he went AWOL, what were your thoughts when he showed up?
I was just tickled to see it.
Made you feel important
Yeah.
that he was willing to do that?
Yeah. I didn't realize he would be in the stockade when he went back.
He'd get in so much trouble for leaving?
I didn't know that. I was raised in the country. I was naive.
So how old were you two when that happened?
17 when I went in service.
And I was 16, I guess, when we met.
I joined as soon as I could. See, I joined.
I wasn't allowed to date till I was 16, so I was 16 or 17, and you was probably about 18, wasn't you?
Yeah, I joined service as soon as I was old enough to join. I joined before I was old enough.
Because we met like maybe July, August, and he had to leave going in service in October.
What was it like dating each other?
I loved it.
Except for when she had to have you come work on the farm?
Hmm.
Said except for when she had you come work on the farm?
No, he didn't do that but one time.
I ain't no farmer.
Had enough of that.
Hmm.
What was your wedding like? I'm gonna ask Grandma this first.
It was August the 2nd, and it was 104 degrees. It was so hot. We got married in the yard at Mama's under a tree. And we left there, and we couldn't afford to go on a honeymoon. Guess where we went?
Where?
Winston-Salem Drive-In, and it was so hot, I thought I'd die.
I
And
like to melt it.
in that dress, I don't know why we didn't go to the apartment. We was talking about that the other day.
What was the wedding like for you? What were your thoughts before?
That was joy. I was in love, boy.
Were you nervous at all?
A little bit. But I ain't never been a nervous type.
That's good. What was it like becoming a parent?
I felt so dumb. But he was one of the greatest joys of my life. But we lived in this 3-room house. with no running water, no bathroom, no closet. So it was hectic. I'd have to come home at night and wash Blake's clothes out with my hands and hang them on a clothesline.
Mm-hmm.
One night they was freezing by the time I could get them hung up. And so then I had Blake in my arms and feeding him oatmeal one morning. And he was about 3 or 4 months old, I guess. And I don't know what Gene did, but anyway, he made me mad. He was going out the door. So I threw that spoon at him, and it hit him and bounced back and hit Blake in the head. Gene didn't say a word. He came over there and got Blake, carried him in the bedroom and put him in his bed, came back in the kitchen, pulled out a chair right beside of me, and I thought, what are you going to do? He hadn't said a word. He bent me over his lap and wore my rear end out. Still didn't say a word, went on out the door.
Did you do that again?
No.
No, she ain't thrown nothing at me since.
And he went and bought us a trailer, traded all our furniture in on that trailer, and it was filthy. Carried it up Mama's and parked it up there. And we moved up there then. And we didn't stay up there long till we moved back. Where did we? Oh, we moved the trailer down here somewhere.
That trailer
Over on
park's
311.
gone now.
What was it like for you becoming a dad?
It was a joy. I was glad to have a kid, and I got 2 good ones.
Yes, you did. If you could have done anything different in your life, what would it be and why? Or would you change anything?
I would change myself.
How so?
I would have more temper than I got.
More temper?
More temper than I got. I would have stood up for myself and my young'uns more so than I did. Because Gene worked 3rd shift and he was tired and ill all the time.
You try working
And-
and see how you feel.
I know it was hard on him and it made it hard on us. The best thing he ever did was when he started driving a truck. But I would have had more guts than I had then. I've got more now than I had then, but
It's just that Kavanaugh blood slowly.
it slowly getting in
It
my
slowly got
system.
bigger. Yeah, it got bigger. You got more of it in you now.
Yeah, evidently.
She's got too much of it now.
Whose fault is that?
Hers. I couldn't have had a better wife, I'll tell you that. They don't make them.
And I couldn't have a better husband either, but
But
I would have, there's been times when he was wrong and I was right, but I didn't fight hard enough,
is there anything that you would change? Looking back all these years?
No,
Not a thing.
no. I loved her then and I love her now.
That's good.
Me too.
What was your favorite car?
Back in a Ford.
Ford what?
Which one that you had?
Which one was your favorite? Which one did you like the most?
Oh Lord, I liked them all.
Well, yours was the Mercury, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it went fast.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us,
66 Mercury, wasn't it?
tell us about that.
Well, I hadn't been driving long. I didn't start driving until I was 33. That's another thing I would have changed. I would have started driving younger.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that old red Mercury. When you touched the gas, it went. It didn't sit there and think about it.
What was your first job?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Running a stand on the golf course.
And what'd you do on the stand?
I sold hot dogs and drinks and stuff to the golfers.
How was that? How was that job?
At 12 years old, it was pretty good. I got a penny on there over 10 cents worth I sold.
That's not bad, 10%.
And I used to walk from where I lived in Southside all the way to Reynolds Park to run that stand every summer.
Mm-hmm. What was your first job, Grandma?
I went to work at H.L. Green's in Winston on Saturdays. I'd just work on Saturday. I'd get a ride out there, and then I'd ride the bus back to Walnut Cove, and Daddy would come pick me up. I think I made like maybe $22 in a day. I doubt if I made that.
And how many siblings do you have, Grandma?
I had a brother that's passed away at 68, and I have 3 sisters.
And what are all their names?
June, Linda, and Connie.
And what was your brother's name?
Dawn.
No. How about you, Grandpa?
I had 2 sisters, one Nancy and one Shirley.
And you had a brother that died as a baby.
Yeah, I didn't know him, and my baby sisters did too.
What were your parents like?
I had the best parents that God put on earth, I think. My daddy, his mother had died when he was 7. But she'd been at Black Mountain, she had, I can't think of the word now, what was wrong with her, but anyway. She died, she'd been up there 4 years when she died then, when my daddy was 7. And he went to live with his grandparents, and they had a bunch of kids, you know, and they more or less mistreated, some of them mistreated him some, you know. And then Grandpa remarried, and we call her Aunt Ada, the woman he married, anyway. She mistreated Daddy a lot. She made him and his sister do about all the work. And my daddy was the most humble person you would ever meet. My daddy never did whoop any of us kids.
That's the reason she's mean now.
He would roll them big blue eyes at you, and you know that he wasn't happy with you, and you got up and left the room. But he was a very good man. And Mama, she was raised in a family with, I think it was 11 of them all together. And she was raised to work hard, and she was a hard worker. And Daddy got snake bit by a moccasin the first year they were married, and then he took blood poison. And the doctor told Mama he would never be the same, because they think he might have had a light stroke in all that time, because he was just real sick for a long time. And so she would do everything and anything she could to help him. And she always told us kids, you do what's right. Don't hurt your daddy. And, but she would wear us out sometimes. You know, Daddy didn't, but Mama did once in a while, with a switch. But they were both good Christian people that loved their family. I couldn't have had a better one than
them.
Than I had.
How about you, Grandpa? What do you remember about your parents?
My daddy, he could go to hell as far as I'm concerned. And I love my mama.
Tell me more about your mom.
My mama was sweet to me and as good as anything. She treated me